Welcome, everybody. We start today with a confrontation. Members of the media increasingly asking both President Joe Biden and California Governor Gavin Newsom, are you plan B? Is Gavin Newsom plan B? If fill in the blanks were to happen to Joe Biden between now and November. Now, the fill in the blanks could be almost anything. There's the if Biden dies before the election scenario. There's the if Biden decides he is just a transitional president and he says he's going to step back, whether it's because of hypothetical health reasons, as some will put forward, or because the DNC comes in and strong arms him and pushes him out. Whatever the scenario, whatever the circumstances, this is now a story and a discussion that has gone mainstream enough that Biden himself is being asked about it. So prior to departing for California, President Joe Biden asked about it. Gavin Newsom in California, awaiting the arrival of Joe Biden, asked about it. Let's start with Biden being asked about this. Is going to California part of setting up a plan B for 2024 with Gavin Newsom? I will admit that the audio of the reporter asking the question is a little bit hard to hear.
Are you ready? Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at you. We're looking at you. Sure.
All right. So Joe Biden just kind of writing it off as a joke, asking the reporter if he's ready as the plan B for 2024. And then Gavin Newsom asked about it. And Gavin Newsom very much prepared. He's being asked about this increasingly regularly now.
President Biden's coming out to California tonight. He'll be in the Bay Area tomorrow. And I hope to be invited to his inaugurals for his second term as president of the United States.
So the question, of course, was, what about you jumping into the race, Governor Newsom? And Newsom says what he's been saying all along, which is, I support President Biden. I will vote for him, and I imagine that he will be inaugurated to a second term. Now, I have to tell you, there are people who there's a lot of, as is unfortunately often the case in these situations, there's a lot of, I hesitate to use the term extremism because it's not really about ideological extremism, but there's a lot of black-white on this. You have a group of people who are convinced Biden won't make it to November / has no intention of actually being the candidate. There is a plan for it to be somebody else. The question is who. On the other hand, there are those who say you shouldn't even be asking this question. It's ageist. It's inappropriate. Let me tell you where I fall. Joe Biden is in his 80s. Statistically, this isn't about my opinion, my desire, my assessment of Biden as a president, which I think he's been good. Statistically, it does make some sense to say, if an 81-year-old dies, who replaces them? I don't think that's crazy. I don't think it's crazy to ask that question. What seems to be too much to me is to go way further and to say there's a plan to insert Michelle Obama because Biden hasn't even been in charge. It's a weekend at Bernie's sort of situation. For me, it's he's 81. What is the plan? And here's the reason why knowing the plan is important. And I'm not saying I need to know it, but there should be one. If for whatever reason it's not Biden, does the Democratic Party get behind Kamala Harris? Do they get behind Pete Buttigieg? Is it Gavin Newsom? So that there is no confusion, you set up a contingency plan in advance. You have a contingency plan for if the president dies while in office. We know what it is. The vice president is sworn in, then it goes to the Speaker of the House. Then it's, I actually don't remember, is it Senate Majority Leader? It's never been an issue, so I don't have that memorized. So why not have a plan when it comes to a nominee as well, particularly if the nominee is in their 80s? That doesn't mean that you have to buy into whatever conspiracy theories are being promoted. Here's a bonus clip, by the way. Speaking of 24, Joe Biden asked, would you rather run against Nikki Haley or Donald Trump? And Biden just waves it off.
Oh, I don't care.
I don't care. And that's obviously the right answer. Any answer that if Joe Biden were to answer that by saying, I'd rather run against Nikki or I'd rather run against Trump, It's problematic no matter what. It's sort of like, is he making an endorsement in the Republican primary if he answers? Is he indicating who he thinks he could more easily defeat? There's no good reason for Joe Biden to answer that question, and I don't care seems to make perfect sense. So, is there a contingency plan for Joe Biden? Is a very reasonable question. The conspiracy theories, they're not for me. You may remember a few years ago, the show got hacked and several $1,000s were stolen. We never got it back. But now I have a lot more peace of mind because we use Aura. Our sponsor, Aura, is the all-in-one tool to protect your online and financial accounts. Aura alerts you anytime your personal info is found on the dark web or in data breaches, could be social security number, logins, financial accounts. You will get very fast alerts if a criminal does something like try to open up a bank account in your name, take out credit in your name. Aura will also monitor your bank accounts, your home and auto titles, which can help to guard against fraud. And Aura even protects your phone by letting you block and screen spam calls and texts. Aura has parental controls for your kids' devices to restrict apps, manage screen time, set focus time. You can try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/Pacman. It only takes a few seconds to use the free trial to see if your username and passwords have been leaked online. The link is down below.